acceptance. Like, Tech9 is definitely one of my favorite rappers, but that's not the point. So,
He's dope.
but don't forget about that KOD too. If you're gonna listen to J. Cole's KOD, definitely download Tech9's KOD, who did it way before J. Cole was doing it. Way before J. Cole went platinum for no singles or all that shit. What's the next topic for us? So I remember that I was reading yesterday on XXL that Chief Keef says that he is the person that basically invented mumble rap, and I don't know how I felt about that. Angel, I don't know how you feel. Ron, I don't know how you feel about that, but y'all go ahead.
And I don't know if I can argue with it. I don't know if he invented it. He definitely popularized it, and he's probably one of the founding fathers of mumble rap. Because if you think about it, like, that nigga did not open his mouth. Like, when he was rapping, he did not open his mouth at all. And it's also like the precursor to what you see today. Like, Lil Pump says explicitly that nigga was influenced by Chief Keef. True. And I'm like, wow. That's what Chief Keef's generation looks like.
Yeah, I guess you do have a point there, man. Like, yeah, they are putting. Yeah.
Does that make you feel old?
Man, it does. I'm looking 22, man, and I feel like I'm like 30 something. Damn.
Like what? Like Chief Keef really got big in like 2011. Like he was like known throughout the city.
And it's crazy because I went to the. Did he go to Rich South?
Or something like that. I don't know where the fuck.
I went to Rich Central. So when he was coming up, we were literally hearing that whole thing. Like he was from Harvey or something like that. Yeah. And I used to live in Harvey also. So like I was like just listening to his blow up, and then he blew up, and I'm like, wow, that shit actually just happened.
I remember hearing I Don't Like a year before that, like Kanye and all those other people did remixes of it, because I think that was really what blew him up. Like when
that cosign.
Yeah, like when Kanye and them started, like when it was like 5 different people in the I Don't Like remix, and like I think that's what blew him up. But I was thinking, now that you put it like that, I might change my mind, because I was thinking Future might have been the one. Now you know me, Ron and I were talking about this off camera, but I still think because he was on the freshman list in 2012, so that that was
right around the same time.
That was around the same time around Chief Keef was blowing up. So, but Ron, do you want to say what you said earlier?
Well, thinking about it, he might have been a founding father for mumble rap also, because if you think about it, Future has deemed the whole auto-tune thing. He literally brought it back from the dead, first of all. Because it died with T-Pain. When T-Pain fell the fuck off, auto-tune fell the fuck off. Agreed. Future came out with racks and brought that like shit back from the dead, and you see it now being used prominent in today's hip-hop culture.
Definitely.
With the new artists, Uzi, fucking even X.
Lil Durk uses that shit a lot. Yeah. I don't listen to Durk, but he's using that shit a lot.
Yep. And he might have been. I think that he kind of changed his style, so he wasn't always like that. I feel like Future was one way, and then once he found that one way sounded better or was selling more, he kind of went with that way for the rest of his career. Because I remember when Future didn't sound like he did now.
I slightly remember that too. What about like Same Damn Time? Like I think that was like that's a real like mumble rap staple from Future. Like I think one of his first like really big songs, one of his many big songs, one of his first bigger songs that like for a lot of it you don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? So that's
he's doing it at the same time though.
Whatever he doing 2 things at once.
At least multitask.
Exactly.
I respect it.
The reason why though I think people respect Future so much is because the nigga is like, he's a staple of his community. Like my auntie is a personal trainer in Atlanta, and she said that he does a lot for like the community. He's a really cool guy.
I heard him and 2 Chainz both reinvested into the black community in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I would hope so. I mean, especially with 2 Chainz. 2 Chainz has been like on since Player Circle.
Duffel Bag Boy.
Yeah, what's called. I remember back for a lot of people don't even know this. What's Titty it called? Boy. Yeah, Titty Boy was actually 2 Chainz' original like rap name. It was Titty Boy and Dollar Boy. Like Dollar Boy was the nigga you don't even hear about no more. But
he was on that one song.
Yeah, he was
Duffel Bag Boy.
That one song.
Like, I don't get that money.
Yeah, but that was a Player Circle song. You know what I mean? And I remember I was listening to Titty Boy back when. What was it called? It was called Codeine Withdrawal. Like that was the name of the mixtape. It came out in 2008, and that was like a little decent mixtape. I was just like, oh, this guy's decent, and that was crazy because
Was that when he was disturbing the peace?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Isn't he technically still with DTP?
Nah, I think something happened between him and Ludacris and that shit.
I mean, he probably bought himself out, right?
Probably by now he would have to. You know
by
what
now
I mean? Like,
he's not with them anymore. I think they fell out. Like, it got bad that they fell out.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is.
who would you say invented? Who would you say was not necessarily invented, but popularized mumble rap?
Honestly, I don't think somebody can really do that, because when you think about it, you can literally go through the history of hip hop. Everything was built upon itself, and everything moved forward like by the year. Everything moved forward like a step, and then somebody took 2 steps, somebody else took 1 step, a bunch of people took 3 steps, and I feel like you can go back and say fucking trap music, the Ghetto Boys, mumble rap, Gucci Man. I mean, you can kind of say the way kind of like Michael Jordan made it popular, made basketball popular to the world, but obviously there was people doing that same exact shit before him.
You're right.
You do have a good point there.
I think if we look into it, I think Future made it popular. I'll say that.
I can comfortably respect that statement.
Yeah, because Future used to drink the codeine and shit, and he said the codeine had him like not opening up his mouth. So that's why mumble rap kind of came into fruition.
Because then he couldn't talk. He would be in front of the mic stuck.
Be glued into his bed.
That's not funny, bro.
I thought you were going to say that as your high story.
Oh, no, bro. Being glued to the bed is not fun. I was not going to tell that as my high story, but that was not a fun experience. Briefly, one of the times before we get to the next topic, one of the times the first time I ever had an edible, it was some brownies I made with my homie. Shout out to Fume and Weaver. What's it called? I was like, oh yeah, can I get one? You know, they was like, of course, bro. You help make them? I was like, sure. So I ate it. I was like, damn, that's a nasty ass brownie. And they kept saying like, oh, these brownies gonna be the shit, bro. And I'm just like, it don't taste good. So what are you talking about? And then like, I get home, hour and a half later, I'm laying down watching Adventure Time or some shit like that, and then legit out of nowhere, bro, like I start like melting into my bed, like legit sinking, like you know that heaviness that you start to feel when you high, like it was like on a whole other level where I felt like I was literally like I was like stuck in my bed, and it was like I felt like my aura was above me, and it was like I turn over and then I feel like a presence turn over with me. It was the scariest fucking shit ever.
Oh, you had a near-death experience.
Soul came out of his body.
But it only came out like fucking 3 inches. Like it was like I'm laying here and my soul is like up here. Like it was like my soul was just sitting on my lap basically.
Like that.
Yeah, it was like, and then you feel like, but you feel something else move first, and then you move. It was just that was not gonna be my high story because I kind of forgot about it because like I said, it was a bad time.
You were moving through a new plane of existence.
I was, bro. I didn't have no deep thoughts or nothing. I was just like, I'm too high. I need to let this go. And I didn't smoke again for like 4 years after that. So